Hello and welcome to Executive Decision, where every week we go head to head with the big guns of the Indian economy. Joining me today, very happy to have with us Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, known as the Big Bull, one of the biggest individual investors of the stock market. Rakesh, thanks so much for joining us on Executive Decision. Hope you're doing well there in Mumbai, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. But Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the question here for you, Rakesh, is really something which is perplexing many people, and who better than you to explain it, about the stock markets. Because growth, as we know, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, has crashed historic low, but yet the markets continue to rise. How do you explain this paradox?
Well, if markets, are to exactly rise in accordance with immediate rise in GDP and immediate fall in GDP, then I think the economists would have been the richest people in the world. I think what the markets are communicating.
No, but hold on. It's not about immediate rise and immediate fall, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. As you know, the economy has been in a slowdown even before the virus struck. You've had 5 to 6 consecutive quarters of. You've had 5 to 6 consecutive quarters of slowing growth.
I tend to disagree with you, Srinivasan.
Okay.
Because I think from January, from the last quarter of last year and the first quarter of the current year,
yes,
we were going into a recovery phase, and I think there is a lot of change, very healthy change, which has come about in India because of this COVID and because of this conflict with India and China. I think first thing is that a lot of efficiency has come into corporate India.
A lot of efficiency.
Right? I have an opinion, Srinivasan. You may disagree with me and I may be wrong. But please let me express my opinion.
No. Please express
your
totally
opinion.
Wrong. No. Of course, you will express your opinion. But I'm saying if we just look at the numbers.
But the numbers are for the market is not about March 2021. No. Market looks far beyond that.
Okay.
First of all, the biggest, one of the biggest reasons for the bullishness in the market is the reduction in interest rates.
Reduction in interest.
They are here to stay for a long period of time.
Okay.
Second thing is, I think there are a series of reforms in India which are taking place, which is RERA, whether it's GST, whether it is IBC, whether it is, I have not gone to the office for 7 months. I am functioning perfectly. Would this have been possible if there was not a digital revolution in India?
No, right? But come on, Rakesh, that's
please let me complete. Let me express my opinion.
No, but you express.
Or you express your opinion, I'll keep quiet. Please question me after I express my opinion.
No, speak.
Or if you want, I can keep quiet and you speak.
No, go ahead, Rakesh, go ahead.
Then last of all, I think we are looking at India with far more integrity in the corporate sector.
Okay.
The people in the corporate sector who have done right have won. Right? I think there is going to be a digital revolution in the world and no one is better suited to tap it than the Indians.
Can I now respond?
No, please let me complete. There are various
Can I now respond? No,
please let me complete.
Okay.
I think in pharma, India is going to be one of the world leaders.
All right.
There is a lot of manufacturing activity which is going to come into India. And I think despite the opposition by the BJP allies, which shows the difficulty of doing reform in India, the agriculture companies I have spoken to, they think this freedom of marketing of agricultural produce is farming's 91 movement.
Okay.
Right?
Now, you have listed.
Please, I have another point.
No, Rakesh, now this is an interview. In all fairness, you have to also allow me to come in. This is not a monologue, this is an interview. You are rattling off a series of measures which you think have boosted the economy, but I am simply pointing to the numbers. You've had 6 consecutive quarters of slowing growth. Can I finish? No, can I now finish? Allow me. 6 consecutive quarters of slowing growth. The growth projection for India the last quarter has fallen by almost 25%, the lowest of all major economies. CMI is projecting anywhere between 5 to 6 million job losses in the white-collar sector alone. Consumer sentiment is down. All indices are down. Investment is down. Consumer sentiment is down. New projects are down.
Bull markets
and you're saying that India is doing well?
I think India. See, if the rear mirror was what the market is going to be in the future, the librarians would have been the richest. That's what Mr. Buffet has said. So the market is a forward-looking element. You are looking at a backward-looking element.
But this is
the
now.
Fact that you had such a fall.
It's not backward.
Right?
It is happening now.
This is the birth of a bull market. This is the typical, Srinivas, I know something about markets. This is the typical, birth of a bull market where you have a changed and changing country.
Okay.
Where you have a deep fall for whatever reason, right? And everybody is perplexed by the rise.
Okay.
There is no manipulation in the markets. Markets are genuine. And don't please compare India to America. Tomorrow, American markets may fall. They have the highest level of corporate profits to GDP. India has the lowest level of corporate profits to GDP.
Okay.
They have very low exposure to equity. In India, they have very high exposure to India or to equity. 32% of American household wealth is equity. India is 5%.
Fair enough.
So I think the markets are looking into the future. You are looking to the past.
Okay, you are saying I am only citing the current snapshot of the economy, not in the past. But let me ask you, Rakesh, personally, I believe you've managed to rebound. That's what I was reading in Economic Times article says. Your portfolio, which is estimated around 12,000 crores, had fallen to about 9,000 crores and has recovered back to 12,000 crores for this fiscal. Is that correct?
So, Mr. Jain, please don't discuss my personal wealth. If you can count it, you don't have it. So, I don't count my wealth, and my opinion is not dependent on the value of my portfolio. My opinion is dependent on the reality as I see it, and the market as I see it. Please learn to respect markets.
No, I'm not disrespecting markets. I'm just asking if you've rebounded.
TV anchors, it is TV anchors who are spreading all this kind of gloom and doom.
Okay.
The only thing that they know is the economy is done badly. How come the market has gone up? They don't look at the future. All they have is pessimism. Every TV journalist, journalist is this only.
Can I just
say
something?
Opinion.
Rakesh, yes. You're in a very combative mood today, surprisingly.
I'm in a combative mood because nobody wants to look at reality and the future.
Okay, you are blaming TV anchors.
I see India which is very different from how you see it.
I'm not saying I see India in any particular way. I'm just citing numbers to you. You're saying TV anchors, the RBI, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the RBI itself is saying. They are
all looking at the past.
Its consumer confidence index. One second. RBI says our consumer confidence index is at an all-time low. From 96 in July 2019, it has now fallen to 54 in July 2020. This is RBI. This is not Srinivasan Jain. These are not TV anchors.
The market is a future-looking instrument.
Okay.
Everybody's comprehension and idea about the future is different.
Okay.
I see a very different India from what others are seeing it. I see a space where we pay 40 rupees for potato and the farmer gets 4 rupees. I think the farmer is going to get 10 and we are going to pay 25. That is the kind of change which is going to come up.
So you're saying that the market and people like you are betting on some kind of uptick, some kind of positive impact of all these reforms down the line. Immediately, you may not see the impact. You're saying this is happening down the line.
Yes? And also the reduction in interest rates.
And reduction in interest. But Rakesh, much of this depends on the manner in which the virus is going to play itself out and whether this allows us to go back to a fully functioning economy. At the moment, the virus is only on the upswing.
Sir, the virus, whether you put the lockdowns or not, the viruses have come. And they may be here to stay until we get a vaccine. But more and more economic activity, people are going to get used to it. And more economic activity is going to come despite the virus. That's my opinion.
But the corporate sector is saying there's no demand.
Who's telling you that? Cars are selling, cement is selling, jewelry is selling. FMCG is selling, everything is selling. Everything is improving.
Yes, but selling at much lower volumes than normal.
Not much lower volumes. Car sales in August were higher than last August.
Auto sales down 75% compared to Q1 of last year. This is SIAM figures, Society for Indian Automobile Manufacturers Association.
August passenger vehicle sale in India is 17% higher than last year. The market is looking to the future, the path is upward.
So, the fact that corporates are saying that there is no demand, banks are saying nobody is coming to us to take loans, all this is fake news.
So, you go and short stocks now, who's telling you? If you feel markets are going to go down and the economy is not going to do well and markets are going to go down, please short the stocks, no? That's your opinion, that's not my opinion.
I'm not a stock market king like you, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
So I'm not. I'm not. Buy RBI bonds and sit down here.
Okay, tell me, though overall, given the fact that, look, everyone's economy suffered because of COVID. All major economies have done badly. But the allegation here, the accusation against this government is that we've taken the biggest hit because the government made the smallest stimulus of most major economies. We've only invested about 1% of GDP compared to the other countries. And so we didn't provide a cushion to businesses and individuals to face the brunt of the lockdown.
But who says we cannot have further stimulus? We have to small and medium industries. They are giving 3 lakh crore loan. Is it small?
It's a loan.
And we have to be fiscally responsible up to a point. And why do you blame the government? Tomorrow, you press will go and blame the government for the COVID, as if the government of India is responsible for the COVID.
No, no one is blaming.
You all don't like the government, especially NDTV. You will blame the government. That government created the COVID.
Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, you're now making it personal.
You're absolutely anti-government. Everybody knows that.
You're making it personal. You're making it personal now. Let's not get personal. I've not got personal with you.
I'm saying what I believe.
I've not got personal with you. I'm stating facts.
The government of India for COVID.
Who is blaming the government of India for COVID?
So you see that, government is acting in the limitation of its fiscal situation.
You don't think that the government should be spending more in trying to bail out, whether it's small businesses, poor Indians, farmers?
The whole country needs a bailout. The whole country needs a bailout.
So, that's the government.
So you have to be selective.
But shouldn't the government is supposed to be the spender of last resort? All governments around the world, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, are spending up to 7, 8, 9, 10% of GDP to bail out their economy. Isn't it a legitimate question to ask, why are we not doing that?
No, they will be doing it. They have done what they could and they will be doing it.
Okay.
But you don't... further stimulus measures are coming.
But you sort of accused us of being anti-government or anti-BJP. But aren't you also, but hold on, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and we had this conversation last time as well. Aren't you also now becoming increasingly prone to viewing policy decisions, into viewing the economy through your own political lenses? Because you have become a full...
How difficult it is to reform in this country when what the industry is saying, what the agriculture industry is saying is going to be the 91 moment for reform in India. I've spoken to 5 companies. And politically there is so much opposition. From the Akali Dal, they resign. How difficult it is to do reform in this country.
But it's the farmers as well. It's not just political parties. Farmers are on the streets.
No farmer is on the streets, only in Punjab. Why? Have they said they dissolve the MSP? Or you want vested interests to be alive in this country forever?
No, but hold on.
Because they oppose the government.
Farmers in Punjab and Haryana are on the streets.
Yeah, but what about all over the country? They will benefit. And for what reason are they on the street? Government is not abolishing MSP.
They have an apprehension. That this is the first step.
That's what I'm saying, no. That is how difficult it is to do political change to do economic change in this country, which is needed. You don't realize that.
Okay.
You just criticize the government.
But the problem is that you are saying that we are being overly critical of the government. Are you, because of the fact that you have also become a complete fan of Mr. Modi and of the BJP, you are not able to see the good from the bad?
Mr. Modi is a well-known fact.
No, but I'm saying...
As an Indian, I have a right to my political choices.
Yes, but isn't that influencing your perception and your analysis? You're not able to see anything wrong.
I'm human, but I find you prejudiced. I have a right of my opinion. I find NDTV prejudiced.
You're not prejudiced?
And I have a right to my opinion.
Okay, but you don't say, but you feel your opinion is not prejudiced.
Well, I am a political animal. The press is not a political animal. You are supposed to be unprejudiced.
I would like to think I'm unprejudiced. But tell me, now, what would you like to see going forward? You think that there's nothing more that needs to be done from the policy front? No more money needs to be spent?
What we need is more reform. We need selling of the public sector.
Okay.
We need the improvement in ease of doing business.
Okay.
Right? We need to reform our land and labor laws. And the government is making effort towards it.
Government is making the effort?
Yeah, it is trying. It's trying to change labor laws. It's trying to change the land reform. It's trying to change land laws. Yes. Karnataka has done it. Right? It is trying to make efforts to sell the public sector.
Okay. But why are animal spirits then still not picking up? Why are we still seeing, and again I'm citing numbers to you because again you'll say this is prejudice, that according to State Bank of India SBI Economist report, new projects down by 56%, investment down by 74% compared to last year.
But give people time, it will all come back. If we create ease of doing business and we reform, with the kind of money that's available worldwide and the kind of return which is available worldwide, you know, there will be so much money coming into this country, it will be difficult to, deal with it.
But Mr. Jhunjhunwala, you keep saying that it will happen. On one hand, you're saying the government is doing a fantastic job. On the other hand, the government has had 6 years. If this is the situation where growth is down 6 quarters, investment is down, new projects are down, animal spirits are not there, then surely there are legitimate reasons to say what has been happening.
No, because the change that we are trying to bring about has a price.
Okay.
Today you get RERA in the public, you get RERA in the real estate sector, the real estate sector slows down. You get GST, the initial years are difficult. But you forget that people are predicting that GST will lead from 2 to 8% GDP growth. That everybody has forgotten.
But where is that happening?
It will take time. Takes time. In other countries, it took 6 years for GST to stabilize.
So how much time do you think? So how much time? How much time does it take?
Now, formerly, only companies used to go bankrupt. Promoters never used to go bankrupt.
Right.
Now promoters go bankrupt. That is the change. So it takes time for absorption.
So you're saying that the growth slowdown, everything is happening because the economy is cleaning up. That's the logic.
That is part of the reason.
But when you say it's cleaning up, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, if you look at the circulation of cash in the economy, because the government said that you clean up demonetization, cash is going to go out, we're going to formalize, we're going to become a cleaner economy. Where's the evidence of that? Corruption is still rampant. Huge amounts of cash are being spent in elections.
Mr. Jain, you see the growth in digital transactions. Why do you forget that? It's a question of glass half full and a glass half empty. Look at the way digital transactions have grown. For 7 months, I have not attended office. I am impeded. I am not impeded at all in my work. If India was not to have a digital revolution, how is it possible?
Mr. Jhunjhunwala,
my domestic help can get a passport today. He can get a visa. I got a US visa for him. He has a bank account.
Well, Rakesh, explain this to me.
He used to pay 10% to transfer money.
Okay. You seem to be, all right, you seem to be suggesting that all this has happened only now, virtually since Mr. Modi came to power. Are you saying
I am not
that nothing happened before that?
I am not concerned. My interview is not a judgment on Mr. Modi. My interview is a judgment on what's happening in India.
Yes.
I'm not concerned because the UPA did it or the NDA did it.
Okay.
The fact is that it has happened.
The fact is that it has happened.
I think when he opened up Jan Dhan bank accounts, everybody thought he's a fool. It's useless. I think you don't know what it means to the poor. They have an identity.
No, Mr. Jhunjhunwala, I have reported extensively on Jan Dhan, so I have a very good idea. But let's not get into that. My question to you is that, Rakesh, when you look at now the economy, what are the areas which someone like you, because I know you don't discuss individual portfolios or individual stocks, but what are the areas to you which look like they could emerge stronger after this? Pharmaceuticals, you said, is one. What else?
I think infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
technology, IT.
Okay. Okay. When you say infrastructure,
if India grows, every sector will prosper. It's a buffet. Eat what you want. Don't eat too much.
No, but come on. Be a little more specific. You're saying infrastructure. You mean what? Roads, power, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But again, we're not seeing too much growth or too much activity there, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
We will see. We will see, no?
Okay. But overall, you would advise, even for the small punter, because many of them are watching the show, they're watching you. And by the way, there seems to be a big surge in the number of people signing up and taking demat accounts, which are the accounts you use to electronically transact in the stock market.
Sir, it is, you think it is big, it is big. We don't worry, it's a country of 135 crores.
Yes, so what?
I think at least India will have at least 50 crore demat accounts. We're not even at 5 crores.
Yes. So what would you say to these newer entrants coming into the stock market? What's your advice for them?
Have confidence in India. Invest carefully. Don't be greedy.
Okay.
Right. Be fearful when it is needed. Good luck. Make money. Be happy. Have faith in India.
Okay. But that's a very general piece of advice, Rakesh. Give them something more specific.
Boss, nobody can make wealth on borrowed knowledge.
Okay.
My biggest advice is have an attitude of reasonable return.
Right.
If that can give you 5-6%, you should, equity, if it gives you 12 to 18%, you should be very happy. So have an attitude of safety, take professional advice.
Okay.
Right, and don't invest on rumors.
Okay. Listen to Rakesh and watch Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's portfolio. Watch the Jhunjhunwala stocks closely.
No, I won't advise.
Okay. What about gold? What about gold?
I'm bullish on gold.
You are bullish on gold. Okay.
I'm bullish on all. I think even real estate has bottomed out.
Sorry?
Even real estate has bottomed out.
Even real estate has bottomed out?
Yeah.
You think it's going to start picking up again?
Yeah, I think so. There are already early signs.
There are early signs. Okay. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much indeed. And look forward to talking to you again on NDTV.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me.
Thanks very much indeed. Thank you, Rakesh.